Hi, I'm Caroline Pemberton for Virtual Office, and for today's conversation I'm sitting with Mark Kooper, who's the General Manager of IT for Hamilton Island, home of the greatest job in the world. Mark, can you tell me a little bit about your role?
As General Manager of IT, I look after the IT on the island, as well as some sister companies that are controlled by the Oatley family, which is Robert Oatley Vineyards. And we have a team of 15 IT specialists that support the island and roll out projects.
Can you give me a quick overview of the IT environment at Hamilton Island, and what does that entail? How much of it do you have to maintain internally, and how much do you actually outsource?
Well, Hamilton Island is a very complex animal. We have lots of residents, we have staff on island, we have 5 hotels, 20 restaurants, retail outlets and all that. And we have a very complex system of, or IT system behind that, basically to support all that.
The greatest job in the world was an absolute marketing dream. The amount of recognition and online traffic that drove was just astronomical. But what kind of challenges did that bring up for you and your team? And what role did Virtual Office play?
Well, this was actually before we moved to Virtual Office. The campaign was launched by the Queensland Tourism Board, and it was based on Hamilton Island. So Hamilton Island got a lot of free publicity from that, and we got a lot of visitors. Now, this was not unexpected, but the number of visitors was totally beyond expectations. And the hosting site where we had our website just could not cope. They did not have their own bandwidth capability to handle that. And the system kept crashing, and it was a bit of a disaster. So we had to urgently move from that environment to somewhere else. We went through several vendors, and we selected Office as our major outsourcing location for our websites. They really came through. They showed specific interest in our requirements. They were very personalized, and in the end, really, we couldn't be happy with them. The implementation went really smooth, and they went above and beyond our expectations to help us put our websites up.
How does the trend towards virtualisation relate? And is Hamilton Island already leveraging virtualisation, or is it likely to? And if not, why not?
We make a lot of use of the virtualisation that Virtual Office supplies in their services. We have about 3 to 5 major campaigns per annum that we roll out, and a lot of smaller ones in between. Sometimes the smaller ones actually have more of a hit than the big ones. It really depends on where it's targeted, and for short or long bursts. Now, during that time, we can go to Virtual Office and we can basically say, look, we need to have more capacity, and they're more than willing to throw another processor in there, throw some extra RAM on there, or even split the services up between an application and a back-end database server. And that's at a very minimal cost, and for a flexible period of however long we want it. The other thing too is that bandwidth tends to spike throughout those periods, and again, Virtual Office allows us to spike through and beyond our bandwidth allocation for short periods, and supply extra service and support during those critical times.
In what way has Virtual Office helped Hamilton Island explore the merits of virtualisation?
Well, we migrated from a standalone server to a virtual server, and it has given us a whole lot of other options to go with it. We have now applied the proper software development lifecycle processes for our website hosting. We have development, testing, staging, and production environments. We have a disaster recovery environment, and that would not have been possible if we had to have all those on separate servers. So the virtualization of the servers has really made it a lot more accessible for us to invest in those other alternative environments.
You must have worked with a lot of IT service providers in your time. How does Virtual Office compare, and what makes them different?
Well, Virtual Office has really been one of the best vendors that I've dealt with in the past, and there's been very few that have been better than that. Very many that have been a lot worse. Complete lack of bureaucracy in Virtual Office means that we get really flexible and fast response to our requirements. And they really understand their product. They come up with various options for us to choose from, whatever matches us best. They also understand our product quite well, and they know what we need ahead of time and are prepared for that. So we're very, very happy with them. Like I said before, when we moved from one hosting center to Virtual Office, they went above and beyond their requirement. They went above and beyond what we expected from them to deliver us an environment and to configure it and set it up, install the software, so we could get up and running really quickly for that Best Job in the World campaign.
Now, apparently some of your websites have won some awards. Can you tell us about those?
Virtual Office is hosting the environment for our SharePoint internet sites, and we've done some great developments on those and won several awards in our hamiltonisland.com.au websites, as well as a lot of the linked websites such as the Audi Race Week website, the Qualia website, the Robert Oatley Vineyards websites. All those websites are hosted at that location, and very stable, and support is great.
Mark, thanks so much for coming in. We'll let you get back to sunny Hamilton Island.
Thank you very much, Caroline. It's been a pleasure.